Good day, everyone. No matter where you are and what time of day it is, I hope that you are having a good day. So, speaking of having a good day, life is about choices. And we decide how we show up in life. And we can show up displaying our righteous traits, or we can show up displaying our unrighteous traits. We can follow in the footsteps of people that we know are doing wrong, or we can decide to do different, or do better, or do right. So life is about choices. And guess what? All it takes is a decision. All it takes is for you to make a decision in your brain that's what you're going to do. That's it. That's all you got to do. Decide. I'm going to do better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to heal. That's all you have to do. So right now, I just came from getting an MRI. And I'll give you an example. When you're on your healing journey, these are the things that you do, right? I had to have an MRI done this morning. I have been out of work since April 7th. So this is now 4 months. I'm not used to this. I'm used to being a run around, pew, 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 go anywhere I want, do anything that I want to do, right? And so now I'm on pause. I know why I'm on pause. And I'm appreciative of this gift. However, it's still challenging to deal with. And so people assume that because you don't complain and because you're not asking for help, or because, you're not, being a victim to whatever the situation or circumstance is, they make assumptions, right? But again, it's a choice. So instead of complaining that I had to get an MRI, which most people say, I gotta get an MRI. I hate MRIs. I don't want to get it. This is about my third time in life having an MRI, right? So what did I do? I made the best of it. In the first portion, which was about 17 minutes, guess what I did? I meditated. So if you don't meditate, you can pray, whatever it is that you need to do to calm yourself and ease your mind. That's one thing that you can do. Then you get to listen to music. So you get to choose what kind of music you're listening to while you're lying there. And so the second round, I listened to ocean waves. And I allowed my mind to take me on the beach. I built a sand castle. I had a little lunch. I walked along the beach. I put my toes and my feet in the sand. I put my toes in the water. I took a little swim. Yes, black people do swim. Especially when you have natural hair and you're not concerned about getting your hair wet. Okay? So that's what I did. I made the best of the situation. So let's apply this to life, right? Maybe you didn't have the best situation growing up. Maybe you were raised in a broken home. Maybe your parents got divorced. Maybe you grew up with a disability. Maybe whatever. You grew up in a toxic environment for whatever reason. So you can choose to resemble that toxicity, or you can choose to be different. Guess what I chose? To be different. That's not a hard decision to make. It's not. And you can't get mad at someone else because that's what they decided to do. They decided to take the lemons and make lemonade and not sit there and say, oh, these lemons sour. They didn't do that. Everybody doesn't do that. Just because they decide to do something different doesn't mean that their life was any harder than yours. That's just like when I first cut my hair. Oh, yeah, you can cut your hair because you got that good hair. You got the same texture of hair that I have. What are you talking about? Or how people say some people's ice is colder. The ice is colder over there. No, it's not. It's the same ice. It's the same ice. So it's the same environment. Again, you can choose to resemble that environment or you can choose to be different. That's all it takes is a choice. Doesn't mean that you don't appreciate and respect what you learned from that environment, because you can do that too. You're supposed to separate yourself from a loving place. I'm thankful that I went through that. I'm thankful that, I experienced that. That helped make me a stronger person. That helped make me more confident. Because that's all it takes. It's for you to have the confidence within yourself. Stop hating on someone else because they decided to do something different. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make logical sense. It's emotional. And you're not doing anything but hurting yourself more and putting yourself in a more low place. Because you're churning those thoughts around in your mind. And you're trying to bring, something to someone else or take something from someone else that doesn't belong to you. When you hate on somebody else or when you're envious or jealous of somebody else, that's what you're doing. You're hurting yourself. And then when something happens, you say, oh, well, I don't believe in karma and I don't believe that things could come back to you. But that's exactly what's happening. When these different things happen in your life, that's karma. That's your karma coming back to you for not being a good person to certain people or in certain situations. And guess what? You can't fake it. You can't fake it. You think that you're being fake. When you smile, when you have a smile on your face, and you got a knife in somebody's back, and you saying, bless your heart, the person know you got the knife in their back, baby. You're not being fake. Because guess what? You're thinking that you're being fake, so they're being fake with you. That's how that works. They're not being genuine with you. You think that they are. You think that you got you a dummy. You think you done met you the biggest fool there is to walk the face of the earth. And guess what? They know. Even if sometimes it takes them a while to think about it. Like, wait a minute, this ain't right. Something's not right about this. They know, though. You're not getting over. Again, genuine, a person can feel it in their heart. A person can feel that in their heart. You cannot fake that. You can try, you can think that you are, but you're not doing a very good job of it. And so what you give is what you get, because we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. So we're attracting who we are, and then we wonder why we end up in more toxic relationships. You can't be toxic and expect to be in a successful, good, healthy relationship. It doesn't work that way. If you're being verbally abusive to somebody, it might come back to you in the form of physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, manipulation, control. You don't escape it. You don't escape it. And you think, oh, why is this happening to me? Things always happen. Because the actions, they're coming back around. We reap what we sow. We do. Even if you don't believe in it. You don't have to believe in it. It doesn't matter if you believe in it. Because that's not how it works. It's a universal law. It's not a man-made law. Because that's a lot of times what people follow. Oh, the rules of this company, the rules of this job, the rules of this nation, the rules of this state. None of that matters. Sure, you have to be a law-abiding citizen if you would like for certain things to, go well for you. I'm not saying to break the law. That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you're following man and not your higher power, that's where you're messing up at. And then you think when you try to slander somebody or sabotage them or lie on them, cheat them out of something, and then you gain something. You might gain more money, you might gain a bigger house, you might gain a better car, you might gain more friends, but it's all fake. And guess what? What goes up must come down. And so if you didn't get it in a righteous way, boy, oh boy, all that stuff is given to you so that when the fall comes, it breaks you all the way down. That part. So if you don't think that you can handle being kind-hearted, and being kind-hearted doesn't mean you have to let people take advantage of you or manipulate you. That's not what that means at all. Because again, you have that awareness of what someone's doing. You're not stupid or oblivious to what's going on. You can feel it. But you can politely tell somebody, no, that's unacceptable. That behavior is unacceptable, and I will not allow it. Or you can allow it and just let them get that karma back. Sometimes you'll be fortunate enough to see it or hear about it, and sometimes you won't. But you don't have to do anything, because it's going to be done for you if you're living the right way. I see it happen all the time. I know a couple who was so mean to me, their whole house flooded. You can't be mean to people. You can't go around doing that. You have to find within yourself, how can I love myself? How can I have more confidence in myself and my abilities and what I can do? How can I do that? One step at a time, one day at a time. Again, you don't have to follow in the footsteps of people who did not do the right thing. You don't have to do that. You can choose to do something different. You can start today. You can choose to do something today. If somebody does something to you and you feel like they did you wrong, you can actually communicate that without a fucking attitude. I really didn't like how you made me feel just now. It didn't make me feel good. It's just that simple. You ain't gonna be doing that to me and that. You ain't gotta do all of that. You don't have to do all of that. Because guess what? If you have that conversation with that person, you might find that they weren't even doing what you think they were doing. They could have had something else on their mind. The way that it translates in their brain might be completely different from the way that it translates in your brain. And pardon me for cursing, because I do my best not to curse, because I know that older people listen to me, and I've always been respectful of my elders. So Miss So-and-so, I apologize that I had to get that little cuss word out. So if you were offended and if you don't want to listen to me anymore, I respect that. But I had to get that one out. Because sometimes it's just ridiculous, some of the things that people do. And don't have to do it. Don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense. And then if they'll sit there and tell me, oh, you full of it, or you don't know what you're talking about, or you a pushover, or you naive. Word. That's what you think. Okay. Word. I'll be all of those things that you want me to be, honey. And I could care less about you saying that. Does it feed you, clothe you, provide you with shelter or clothing? Any of your basic needs? Love? No. That's unloving. It's unloving. So no, it doesn't, meet any of your needs. So you don't have to No matter who the person is or where it's coming from, you do not have to listen to or accept something negative that somebody says about you. You don't have to do that. I know when things were said about me when I was, younger, in my mind, I would automatically say, no, I'm not. Because I knew. You don't let nobody call you stupid. Or nobody call you, oh, you ain't going to be whatever. Or you ain't going to, no, get all of that out of your head. Whatever somebody told you you can't do, you can do it. Stop listening to other people and their negativity. A lot of times people project their fears onto you because they were afraid to pursue their goals. And so they let that fester inside of them. Like Langston Hughes' poem, like a dream deferred. They deferred their dreams, so they want you to defer yours. So if you went to somebody, a relative, and you said, oh, you 16, I want to be a teacher, or whatever, a firefighter, I don't know, whatever you say, and that person say, oh, you better get a job, okay? And we respect that person, so we actually listen. But then when we realize as we get older, I didn't have to listen to that. I could have actually went and been a teacher and been successful at it. I could have went and been a firefighter and been successful at it. But guess what? It's not too late. You can still heal and be the person that you want to be. You can still do that. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It's about choices. All you have to do is make the choice to do something different. Ask for help if you need to. Now, this coming from somebody who doesn't like to ask help. Why? Because I don't like to be told no. I'm a little spoiled. I don't like being told no. And, yeah. I'm gonna keep it funky. I don't like being told no. So, I don't like being disappointed. I feel like I've had enough disappointments. But see, that's fear. That's not loving. That's not practicing self-love. Because we need each other. We need help. But then, I've had, when I go to somebody and ask me for help, they just are manipulative. And then, they'll try to pick you for information just to see what's going on with you. But they're not really trying to help.